Greetings, I'm Roger Newbold, and welcome to episode number 43 of the Experience Photography Vlog. Our editor and my great friend and associate is Mr. Matt Rich. We're grateful to have him at the control center in Space Command today. Are you there, my friend? Excellent. Happy New Year, everybody. As we arrive at this new year, some stumbling in from a hard day's work, some gliding in with a smile and a retirement check in their pocket, and some, I fear, have been plopped here by some magical cosmic muffin. I don't know. However you arrived, we really welcome you to 2024 and into our vlog group. We wish you much success and happiness in this new year. We encourage you to have your questions and comments answered by us. We hope that you find this additional source of inspiration and a creativity that has been built specially for you. If you've got a question, ask away. We believe this year that we should begin with a few up-to-date thoughts. Why not? Everyone else is proposing original ideas and innovative solutions and fresh resolutions for January. So let's plant some new seeds for the upcoming future crop. Of course, I'm speaking figuratively here. I really don't expect you to go out in the mud, or worse, in the frozen tundra and bury a stash of turnips or something. It doesn't sound right. Planting now and gathering for the future is an endorsed concept, however. So here's some little desert seeds. And here they fill the desert urns. The initial phase of the creative process is collecting things that we think we find of interest. And by all means, get that camera out, investigate, find your surroundings, look at the defining moments, the things that arrest your consciousness. You become aware of the concept. And then as you develop that concept, it turns into an entire crop. Now, being open to every manner of stimulation is important. The season of familiar holiday songs, they may become the catalyst for better pictures, or of your family, or of dear friends. I don't know. But quite often, I'll sit down and put on the B.G. Adair Trio. I love her music. And they softly play love letters from the Romance album. There's no words, just smooth swaying, a melody to calm your mind and foster contemplation. It's wonderful. People severely underrate the quality of quietness and of observation and thinking. Please create more sensitive images. They become the big bonus in this whole effort. Maybe a sensational line or a chapter in a new book stamps an impression on your mind that awakens a suggestion for forthcoming points in your work. For example, even the comedian George Carlin produced some salient points from his reflections. He stated, "The paradox of our time in history is that we have taller buildings but shorter tempers, wider freeways but narrower viewpoints. We spend more time yet have less. We have bigger houses and smaller families. We have more conveniences but less time. We have more degrees but less sense. More knowledge but less judgment. More experts, yet more problems." This brings us to a point that we should become a proficient expert, not just a drip under pressure. Visuals, artworks, movies, even a wild cloud formation may prompt you onward. I want you to take a look at these two following photographs from Edward Stieglitz. Notice this first one, the seed of his harvest. In this first one, we see some clouds from his equivalent series, and look at those. I want you to really feel the cloud. Then in the second picture, the harvest, the sensitive portrait of his wife, Georgia O'Keeffe. Obviously, we now witness the similar forms and shapes that reoccurred in Stieglitz's work. You know, we probably will never fully understand how things get connected or rearranged once they get planted in our garden of gray matter. We just try our best to be receptive and to be generally visible to stimuli. We should always be more receptive to the limited, the invisible impulses that are transmitted to us through life. You know, an artist can cast an inquisitive line out there in the universe. You can collect a mass of inspirational seeds. Even though the exploration is best approached with one's boundless curiosity, the theory is to file them in a temporarily passive manner. Stow the ideas in the recesses of your brain, but don't immediately jump on and use them. Well, you can, but it's important to give them a period of time to develop. They need to percolate and ferment. It's not necessary to judge their value. Is this a good point? This is bad? No. The value, even act upon them in any manner. Just deposit them for the future reference and consumption in your work. If you, like myself, have become increasingly forgetful and are particularly visual by nature, you may wish to invest in one of the previously spoken about in an older vlog, the Moleskine brand of 3x5-inch small journals or the art collection notebooks. They are tremendous for keeping written or drawn clues in your mind and readily accessible at your fingertips. This is really an unendorsed Moleskine idea for seed savers, and servers. By the way, Moleskine, Call me. Yeah. You know, the entire purpose of collecting intimate hints is that they will eventually prompt us to respond in an unaccustomed, innovative, and creative new path. Even Ansel Adams, who we look at and say, well, he did the same thing every dang day. He stated, you don't make a photograph just with a camera. You bring the act of photography. You bring to it all of the pictures that you've ever seen, all of the books you have ever read, all of the music you've ever heard, and all of the people you've ever loved. Now, here's my 2 cents worth. Read more. Ponder more. Respond slowly. Speak deliberately. Those chasing the artistic photographer's dream, they work hard to experience life slowly. It's in our contemporary life, the bulk of the population chases efficiency with speed and swiftness. They discourage looking too deep under the carpet or participating in any encounter. Ooh. However, if you don't have any skin in the game, you learn very little. You need deliberate action. You need the sense of achievement and even ample reputation and repetition for personal gain. We begin to understand that patience is required for the nuanced development of your seeds, and it will affect all your life and all of your craft. Every phase of life and work benefits from learning to have patience. It is obtained through acceptance of what is. For many, this may be a long, hard struggle. But you have to learn to cope with it. And it's a necessary one. Because impatience is just a futile argument with actual reality. If I could quote from Dr. Margaret Paul, she said, "Accept what you can't control and control what you can." When it comes to the creative process, patience is accepting the fact that most of the work we do is out of our firm control. Some great things we just can't force. All we have to do is plant the seed and actively await for the wizard's magic to come and bless us. Waiting, number 1. As we pause, the subtle seeds suggest a new approach. In black and white, perhaps. Waiting, number 2. Imaginably, the seeds hint at the vertical expression with a wide-angle lens. Waiting, number 3. The seeds could advise a multi-second long exposure. Get that really cool, smooth water. Waiting, number 4. From the deep recesses of the mind, a short telephoto rendition may just boil up into a picture. Now, Matt and I revisit locations frequently. We're waiting for the situation to present its gold. Oh, yeah. Remain faithful to the process and prepare for the instant when that lightning bolt splinters your serenity. Accept the sorcerer's input with gratitude. I'm rather certain it's not a secret. There are no shortcuts. Patience, humbug. That divine flash of inspiration, inspired light appears and penetrates in the briefest twinkling. It is the fuel that powers the seeds to fruition. It's the energy that we long for. These sublime instances, they don't last long. So cherish them profoundly. Personal triumphs arise from learning to contend with life's vaporous experiences and the blending of persistence. Focus on the goal. Ignore the obstacles. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. And the victory is not perfection. It's about your progress. Keep your mind and soul alert and attentive. Be focused on the quiet, peaceful feelings. If you're not inspired, how can you expect anyone else to be inspired by your work? You gotta be inspired. So, in summary, gather and plant your seeds habitually. As Ruth Bernhard mentioned, keep them visible. Keep them in your journal or notebook and frequent it. Don't rush to exploit the seeds. Just create a calm, cosmic environment for their maturation. Search for the reoccurring themes or events in your life. They are unassuming prompts. Look for the awe behind the obvious. Seek wisdom. Recognize the help that comes to us not from within us. My friends, our time is up today, but it has been my pleasure to spend some time with you today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with somebody new. Provide them an innovative opportunity. And if you enjoyed today's episode, well, give us that big thumbs up. We love to see that. Subscribe. Tinkle that bell. You know, I want to say one thing before we part. For those who followed my 12 Days of Christmas Humbug on Facebook, it was the best laugh I've had in a long time. Thanks for following along. You know, epiphanies are freely scattered about. We hope that you'll discover many of them throughout this new year. I really do. I hope you have a great deal of fun and excitement and make some great photographs. So until we meet again on screen, a tip of my hat to you, my fellow friends, and cheerio.